The first thing Elias noticed was the silence. Not the peaceful kind. Not the comforting hush of a quiet room or a sleeping city. This silence pressed against his ears, thick and unnatural, like the world itself had paused mid-breath. He opened his eyes slowly. The sky above him wasn't blue. It shimmered. Bands of violet and deep gold stretched across the horizon like liquid metal, shifting in slow, hypnotic waves. Strange, jagged structures rose in the distance, too smooth to be natural and too irregular to be man-made. The air smelled faintly metallic, tinged with something sweet and unfamiliar. Elias groaned and pushed himself upright. "Okay," he muttered, wiping blood from his lip. "Either I'm dead, or I've made some very bad life decisions." The last thing he remembered was the accident, headlights, the screech of tires, the violent spin of metal. Then darkness. Now this. He staggered to his feet, legs unsteady, heart pounding. "Hello," he called out, his voice sounding strangely muffled. No response, but something moved. A flicker of motion behind one of the curved structures. Elias froze, his instinct screaming. He wasn't alone. "Hey," he said again, softer this time. "I don't know where I am, but I'm not looking for trouble." The movement came again, quicker now. And then it burst into the open. A small figure. Not human. It was about the size of a child, its body sleek and covered in a faintly glowing, translucent skin. Its eyes, too large, too luminous, locked onto Elias with unmistakable fear. The creature stumbled, then collapsed. Elias hesitated. Every survival instinct told him to back away. Unknown world. Unknown species. Unknown consequences. But then the creature made a sound. A soft, broken whimper. And Elias moved. Hey, it's okay," he said, kneeling beside it. Up close, he could see it was injured. A deep gash ran along its side, leaking a faintly glowing fluid. "Damn," he whispered. "You're hurt bad." The creature flinched at his touch, but didn't resist. "Easy," Elias murmured. "I'm not gonna hurt you." He tore a strip from his shirt and pressed it gently against the wound. The fluid was warm, warmer than blood, and it pulsed faintly, like it had its own heartbeat. "Just hold on," he said. "I've got you." That was when the ground trembled. Elias looked up. Something was coming. The air shifted, charged with energy. The strange structures around him hummed softly, as if reacting to an approaching presence. Then she appeared. At first, Elias thought it was a trick of the light. A distortion. Then the distortion took shape. Tall. Elegant. Terrifying. The alien woman stepped into view, her form shimmering like heat over glass. Her skin mirrored the sky itself, violet and gold flowing across her body in constant motion. Her eyes glowed with an intensity that made Elias's chest tighten. Power radiated from her. Not just physical power, something deeper. Ancient. Absolute. Elias's breath caught. "Okay," he whispered. "That's new." The creature in his arms stirred weakly. The alien woman's gaze snapped to it. And then to him. Elias felt it immediately. Pressure. Not physical but mental. Like invisible fingers pressing against his thoughts. Probing. Searching. He gasped, clutching his head. What are you doing?" he groaned. Her voice came, not through the air, but inside his mind. "You touch what is mine." The words were not spoken. They were felt. Each syllable carried weight, emotion, and something dangerously close to fury. Elias swallowed hard. I was just trying to help. You harm my child and claim aid?" Her presence intensified. Elias dropped to one knee, pain flaring behind his eyes. "No," he shouted. "I didn't hurt it. I found it like this. I'm trying to stop the bleeding." For a moment, everything stilled. The pressure in his mind shifted, less aggressive, more focused. The alien woman stepped closer. Elias couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Her gaze locked onto the makeshift bandage, then the wound beneath it. And then, the child whimpered again. Something changed. The alien woman moved instantly, kneeling beside them. Her hand hovered over the wound, glowing faintly. But she didn't touch it. Instead, she looked at Elias. "You bind its wound." Elias nodded quickly.
Yeah.
It was losing a lot of whatever that is. Its life essence.
Right.
That. She studied him, her expression unreadable. "Your method is crude." Elias let out a shaky laugh. "Yeah, well, I didn't exactly pack a first aid kit for alien planets." A pause. Then, something unexpected. The pressure in his mind eased. Slightly, yet defective. Elias blinked. "I'll take that as a compliment." The alien woman extended her hand toward the child again, but this time, she didn't heal it. Instead, she placed her other hand on Elias's chest, and everything exploded.
Pain.
Blinding, overwhelming, consuming pain. Elias screamed. It wasn't physical, not entirely. It felt like something was being pulled out of him. His strength, his warmth, his very essence. "What are you doing?" he choked. "Balancing."
Her voice was calm.
"Unyielding. Its life wanes. Yours is strong. The exchange is necessary." Elias collapsed, gasping, his vision swimming. "You're draining me," he rasped. "You choose to aid. This is the cost. I didn't agree to this. Yet you did not release it." Elias's hands tightened instinctively around the small creature. Even now, even through the agony, he couldn't let go. "No," he whispered. The pain intensified. His heart pounded wildly, each beat weaker than the last. His body trembled, muscles failing. He could feel himself slipping.
Dying.
And yet, the child's breathing steadied. Its glow strengthened. Elias forced a smile through clenched teeth. "Good," he muttered. "That's good." The alien woman watched him closely. Something flickered in her luminous eyes. Not anger, not suspicion. Something else. Something unfamiliar. Elias's vision darkened. "Hey," he murmured weakly. "If I pass out, try not to kill me or anything." Silence. Then, "You endure for one not your own." Elias let out a faint chuckle. "Yeah, well, someone's gotta..." And then everything went black. He woke to warmth. Soft, steady warmth that wrapped around him like a protective cocoon. Elias blinked, groaning. "Still alive," he muttered. "That's surprising." "You are." The voice was different now. Still powerful. Still echoing in his mind, but softer. Elias turned his head. The alien woman sat beside him. Up close, she was even more striking. The shifting colors of her skin moved slower now, calmer, like a quiet ocean instead of a storm. "The kid?" Elias asked. She gestured. The small creature lay nearby, curled up and breathing peacefully. Its glow was steady and bright. Elias exhaled. Good. He tried to sit up and immediately regretted it. Whoa, okay. Not good, he groaned, collapsing back down. Your essence was greatly diminished. Yeah, I noticed. She watched him in silence for a moment. Then, you should not have survived. Elias smirked weakly. Story of my life. Another pause. Your species is fragile. Hey, I'm doing my best here. And yet you gave of yourself without demand. Elias shrugged slightly. It was a kid. Not yours. Does that matter? She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she studied him, really studied him, as if trying to understand something entirely new. Finally,
Yes.
Elias raised an eyebrow.
Huh.
Well, guess that's where we're different. A long silence followed. Then the alien woman stood. You have altered the balance. Elias frowned. That doesn't sound good. It is not. She turned to face him fully, her presence intensifying again, but not painfully this time. In giving your essence, you have bound yourself to my child. Elias blinked. I'm sorry, what? Its life now carries a fragment of yours, as yours carries the imprint of ours. That sounds complicated. It is a claim. Elias pushed himself up slightly, despite the protest of his body. What kind of claim? Her gaze held his. You are now part of our lineage. Elias stared at her, then laughed, then immediately winced because laughing hurt. Okay, no. No, that's not how that works, he said. I helped your kid. That's it. We're even. There is no even. Her voice sharpened slightly. You have given life. Such acts are not undone. Elias ran a hand through his hair.
Great.
Fantastic. So, what does that mean exactly? Am I what, adopted? Drafted? Married off to some alien royalty I don't know about? She tilted her head slightly. You are claimed. You're really not big on details, are you? Before she could respond, the ground shook again. This time it was different. Violent. Aggressive. The sky darkened, the shimmering colors twisting into chaotic patterns. Elias's stomach dropped. That doesn't look friendly. The alien woman's expression hardened. They have come. Who? Her gaze shifted to the horizon. Those who inflicted the wound. Elias followed her gaze. Shapes moved in the distance. Large, jagged forms tearing through the landscape, their presence warping the air around them. Predators. Let me guess, Elias said. They're not here to apologize.
No.
She stepped forward, her form beginning to glow brighter. They seek to finish what they began. Elias forced himself to his feet. Yeah, well, they're gonna have to get through me first. She looked back at him. You are weakened. Yeah, I've been better, he admitted. But I'm not just gonna lie here while they come after the kid again. For a moment, she said nothing. Then, something shifted. The air around Elias shimmered. He felt it immediately.
Strength.
Not his own, but flowing into him, filling the hollow spaces left by what he had lost. What is this? He asked, flexing his hands. Reciprocity. Her voice was steady. You gave. Now you receive. Elias grinned. I gotta say, I like this part a lot more. The creatures in the distance roared, low, guttural sounds that vibrated through the ground. They were close now. Too close. The alien woman stepped beside him. For the first time, they stood as equals. Not human and alien. Not stranger and stranger. But something else. Something bound.
Protect the child, she said.
Elias nodded. You don't have to tell me twice. The first of the creatures lunged. Elias moved without thinking. Faster than he should have been able to. Stronger than he had ever felt. He met the creature head-on, driving it back with a force that surprised even him. Okay, he shouted. That's new. The alien woman fought beside him, her movements fluid and devastating. Light and energy bent around her, each strike precise and overwhelming. But there were many. Too many. Elias gritted his teeth. Hey, he called out. You got any other surprises up your sleeve? Focus.
Right.
Helpful. Another creature charged. Elias braced himself and felt something shift again. A connection. Not just to her, but to the child. A shared pulse. A shared strength. Oh, he whispered. Oh, that's interesting. He moved differently now. Not alone. Never alone. Each strike carried more power, more precision. The creatures faltered, their attacks growing less coordinated as the bond between Elias, the child, and the alien mother strengthened. Finally, the last creature fell. Silence returned. Real silence this time. Elias stood there, breathing heavily. "We good?" he asked. The alien woman scanned the horizon, then nodded.
For now.
Elias let out a long breath and dropped to the ground. "Man, I am never complaining about traffic again." She approached him slowly. "You fought." "Yeah," he said. "Told you I would." "Despite fear." He shrugged. "Fear's kind of part of the deal." She knelt beside him once more. "You are unusual." Elias smirked. "I've been called worse." A faint pause. Then, something remarkable. The shifting colors of her skin softened further, settling into a calm, steady glow. "The claim remains." Elias sighed. "Yeah, I figured. But it is no longer obligation alone." He looked at her. "What does that mean?" She placed a hand over his. This time, there was no pain, only warmth. "It means you are no longer bound by sacrifice."
A beat.
"You're bound by choice." Elias looked at the child, sleeping peacefully nearby, then back at her. He smiled. "Yeah," he said softly. "I think I'm okay with that." Above them, the sky began to shift again, violet and gold blending into something new, something brighter. And for the first time since waking in this strange world, Elias didn't feel lost. He felt claimed, but not taken, chosen. And somehow, that made all the difference. The sky didn't return to what it had been before. Elias noticed that first. Even after the creatures were gone, after the echoes of their roars faded into the vast, alien distance, the heavens above refused to settle. The violet and gold currents twisted together into something deeper, richer, like two worlds trying to become one. "Is it supposed to look like that?" Elias asked, still lying on his back, staring upward. The alien woman stood a few steps away, her gaze fixed on the horizon.
No.
That single word carried weight. Not fear, but concern. Elias sat up slowly, his body still recovering, though the strength she had given him lingered like a quiet fire beneath his skin. "That doesn't sound great," he said. "It is not." She turned toward him. "The balance has shifted beyond the child, beyond you." Elias frowned. "Because of what we did?" A pause. Then, "Because of what you are." He blinked. "I'm pretty sure I'm just a guy who got hit by a car." "You crossed death and did not remain." "Okay, fair point." The child stirred. Both of them looked immediately. The small being's glow flickered, then steadied as it slowly opened its eyes. Those luminous, oversized eyes moved between them, first to its mother, then to Elias. And then, it reached out. Not to her.
To him.
Elias hesitated. I think it wants
you."
The alien woman's voice was quieter now, not commanding, observing. Elias shifted closer, extending his hand carefully. The child's small, glowing fingers wrapped around his. And the moment they touched, the world changed. Elias gasped. A flood of sensation rushed through him. Not pain, not exactly. Memories, not his own. Flickers of alien landscapes, impossible skies, and something deeper. Emotions so vast they nearly drowned him.
Fear.
Loneliness. And then, relief. The child's grip tightened slightly. Elias exhaled shakily. "Yeah, I get it," he murmured. "You went through a lot, huh?" The alien woman watched closely. "It recognizes you." Elias looked up. "Recognizes me?" "As part of itself." "That's new." The child made a soft sound, almost like a laugh, and leaned closer to him. Elias smiled despite himself.
"Okay, yeah."
"I'm definitely not leaving now, am I?" The alien woman stepped closer. "Leaving is no longer simple." Elias glanced at her. You keep saying things like that. You want to explain what that actually means? She hesitated. For the first time since he had met her, she hesitated. Your world and mine are no longer separate. Elias's smile faded.
What?
She gestured upward. The bond we formed, the exchange of essence, it created a bridge, a connection between realms. Elias followed her gaze to the sky. The swirling colors, the distortion. You're saying I broke reality. Altered it. Great, he muttered. That's definitely going on my list of life achievements. But even as he joked, a knot formed in his stomach. What happens now? He asked more seriously. The alien woman didn't answer immediately. Instead, she knelt beside the child, placing a gentle hand on its head. Now others will come. Elias stiffened. Others like those things we just fought?
Worse.
Fantastic. He stood slowly, forcing his body to cooperate. Then we don't wait around, right? He said. We move. We figure something out. She looked at him. You would stay? Elias gave a small, tired laugh. Look, I don't exactly have a ride home. And even if I did, he glanced at the child, still holding his hand. I'm not leaving you two to deal with this alone. Something shifted in her expression again. That same unfamiliar emotion. Stronger now. You choose this. Elias nodded.
Yeah.
I do. A long silence followed. Then she rose to her full height, her form glowing brighter, more defined. Then you must understand the truth. Elias crossed his arms slightly. Hit me. The claim I spoke of, it is not symbolic. I figured. It is a binding recognized by my kind, and by those beyond. Elias narrowed his eyes. Beyond. Her gaze lifted slightly, as if she could see something far outside his perception. There are entities that govern the boundaries between worlds. They will sense this change. Elias felt a chill run down his spine. And they're not the forgiving type, I'm guessing.
No.
Of course not. The child tugged gently at his hand. Elias looked down. Hey, he said softly. You okay? The child made a soft, chiming sound. And then, it showed him something. Not in words. In feeling. A looming presence. Something vast. Watching. Elias swallowed. Yeah, I think I see the problem. The alien woman stepped closer to him again. If they come, they will not distinguish between us. Meaning, they will erase the imbalance. Elias let out a slow breath. So, they'll erase us. Yes. For a moment, the weight of that hung between them. Then Elias exhaled sharply. Okay, he said. Then we don't let that happen. She tilted her head slightly. You would oppose them? Elias smirked faintly. I mean, I already fought off alien monsters today. Might as well go for the full set. They're not like the others.
Yeah, he said.
But neither are we anymore, right? Silence. Then, a subtle shift. No, she said softly. We are not. The ground beneath them began to hum.
Low. Deep.
Elias looked around. Is that normal?
No.
The sky darkened further, not with clouds, but with something else. A presence pressing down from above. Elias felt it immediately. Heavier than anything before. Stronger than the alien woman's power. Stronger than the bond. Something ancient. Something absolute. They're here, he whispered. The alien woman stepped in front of the child instinctively. Elias moved beside her. No, he said. We stand together. She glanced at him, then nodded. The sky split. Not physically, but perceptually. Like reality itself had been peeled back, revealing something behind it. Shapes moved in that space. Impossible shapes. Watching. Judging. Elias's heart pounded, but he didn't step back. Okay, he muttered. No pressure. The presence intensified. And then, A voice. Not like hers. Not like anything he had heard before. It didn't speak to him. It spoke through existence itself. Imbalance detected. Elias winced, gripping his head. Yeah, he said through clenched teeth. We noticed. Correction required. The child cried out softly, clutching his hand tighter. Elias felt the bond surge. He looked at the alien woman. Any ideas? He asked. She met his gaze. There is one. Let's hear it.
We do not resist.
Elias blinked. That's your idea? We prove harmony. I'm gonna need more than that. She stepped closer, placing her hand over his heart again, but gently this time.
They seek imbalance, conflict,
Separation. Her eyes locked onto his. We show unity. Elias hesitated, then slowly nodded. Okay, I trust you. Together, they reached for the child. All three connected. The bond flared, stronger than before. Not forced, not taken.
shared.
Elias felt it expand beyond them, beyond the planet, reaching outward like a signal. Not of power, of choice, of connection. The presence above paused. The crushing pressure faltered. Anomaly. Elias gritted his teeth. Yeah, he whispered. That's us. The bond surged again. Not chaotic. Not destructive. Balanced.
Human.
Alien. Different. And yet together. The sky began to stabilize. The in reality slowly sealed. The watching shapes receded. And then, silence. True silence. Elias collapsed to his knees, breathing hard. Did we just win? He asked. The alien woman remained still for a moment longer. Then,
Yes.
Elias let out a breathless laugh. I cannot believe that worked. The child chimed happily, its glow brighter than ever. The alien woman looked at him, not as a stranger, not as an outsider, but as something else entirely. You changed more than fate today. Elias rubbed the back of his neck. Yes, sorry about that. Do not apologize. She stepped closer. You gave without expectation. You chose without obligation. Her hand found his again. That is why it worked. Elias smiled faintly. So what now? She looked at the sky. Now calm. Now whole. Now we decide what comes next. Elias followed her gaze, then looked at the child, then back at her. Well, he said, a small grin forming, I guess if I'm part of the family now, I should probably stick around. A faint pause. Then, for the first time, she smiled. Not fully, not like a human would, but enough. Then stay. Elias nodded. Yeah, he said softly. I think I will. Above them, the alien sky shimmered, not in chaos, but in harmony. And for the first time since everything began, there was no imbalance. Only something new. Something impossible. Something chosen. And this time, it wasn't an accident. It was a beginning.